first of all, we have here a fire sign, a Sagittarius, an Aries, or a Leo. And this is somebody who's very, very good at so Two of Swords, this ostrich sticking his nose, his face, his head in the sand, okay? So this is sort of like, I'm not making a decision. I'm pretending that it's not affecting me. And this is somebody that refuses to kind of acknowledge the truth, or refuses to budge, or refuses to, it's like a state of blissful denial, okay? Blissful denial. And you might be dealing with a person like this. They're shown up here as a Queen of Wands, Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. I feel like this person is heavily looking at you. For some of you, this might be an ex. For others, it could be a family member. I feel like this is a person that is very curious about you. For some of you, this can also be coworkers, like somebody who's a little bit nosy, I feel, but then on the surface, they try to play it cool, okay? So I feel like they're wondering what you're up to. I feel like there's no information between you and them. They want to know what you're up to. They want to know a lot more about you. They want to know if you're single. They want to know if you're, I wonder if the Virgo has broken up with, so-and-so. I wonder what the Virgo is planning. I wonder what they're scheming. I wonder what their next move is. So I feel like this person is kept in the dark, not because you're keeping them in the dark, but because for whatever reason, they don't have a very direct way of asking for information. It's almost like they want to know certain things about you, but they don't dare ask because they don't want to, I guess, like show their interest. They don't want to show that they care. They don't want to show that they're looking, spying, trying to get information. So I feel like this is somebody that, might have been on the outs with you. They want to get into your life. They want to find a segue back in. They want to find a way to get back in and find out things about you. And I do feel like with this person, there might have been a situation where, you might have turn your back on them, okay? So I feel like with the Hermit, this is a state of contemplation. This is like heeding your inner calling, following your own light, okay? So the traditional Rider-Waite deck, the Hermit is an old man with a lamp, okay? And he's shining the way for the rest of the world to follow. He's providing direction and guidance for other people. In this deck, I do feel it's like listening to your own calling, conserving your energy. A lot of the times, Virgo, you embody the Hermit energy. You know a lot. You have a lot of wisdom and a lot of insight. And so a lot of the times you care about people too. And so you tell them, hey, you should do this. You shouldn't do that. Or, listen to me. I know what's best for you. And a lot of the times you are right. A lot of the times you are right. But I also feel like, I'm sensing that some people, they're not ready to hear the truth. They're not ready to hear the wisdom that you have to dole out or dish out. They're not ready to accept certain truths about their life, and they're not ready to hear that, they have to change, their ways or their course of action. I also feel like there might also be people who find you. I don't, okay? I don't. So please don't get mad. But I feel like there might be people who find you annoyingly perfect or annoyingly right. And they don't want to listen to you just to spite you. They don't want to listen to you just to, prove you wrong. Like, you don't know everything, Virgos. And so you spend a lot of time giving people advice, being, the shoulder to lean on, telling people what they should and should not do. And I feel like the advice was well-intentioned, but it might have fallen on deaf ears because the other people, whatever they're dealing with in their own life, they were not ready to hear. Okay? They were not ready for advice. They were not ready for that snippet of wisdom. They were like, it's better off, and it's easier for them to just be in blissful denial and just, stick their head in the sand and not have to deal with these issues that, or these things that you're bringing up, because it's just easier, right? And so with this energy, you're now pulling back your energy. You're just like, okay, well, I have this lamp here. I can lead the way. I can show you out of the darkness. And yet, if you refuse to follow me, I can't force you. And so you're going to take your lamp and forge your own path and go your own way. Okay. So I feel like that's what it is here. It's about, knowing when people are not ready and not sticking around to wait for them. Knowing when people are like not receptive to what you have to say, and not even bothering to stick around to like convince them. Okay. When the time is not right, the time is not right. When they're not willing to listen, they're just not going to listen. And so we're moving on with that. We don't need to convince society or anybody that we're right. Okay. We just know, like in our hearts of hearts, we just know. And a lot of the times too, you're right, and everyone knows you're right, but they're not willing to budge. Okay. So exercising a little bit of like detachment and is itself the best form of wisdom. Okay. Detachment. So then you're not expending your energy in dead ends. Okay. Detaching yourself, or detachment, so that you're not, it's like you're not infringing on the other person's timelines or free will. Okay. So that's what I'm seeing here. I do feel for many of you, we have another character here, and I'm darting back and forth because I feel like each scenario might apply to different Virgos out there. Okay. We have here the King of Cups. And I feel like this person, okay, water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. This is somebody who is very, I'm drawn to these starfish on his head. Give me just a moment. There's a message coming in. I feel for many of you, you might have moved away from this person. Okay. So like, here's you moving on with your life. Life is happening at lightning speed for you guys. So there's a whole concept about, fasting forward. Okay. Fast forward. Things are like accelerating. Things are moving really fast. There's going to be a lot of movement this month. And so you need to be in best shape and best form. So make sure you get enough sleep. Make sure you rehydrate. Make sure you feed yourself well. Try to eat on time. I am seeing a soccer mom getting out of her SUV with her soccer kids. And she has like a bunch of granola bars in her purse, okay? So her purse is for the office, but she has granola bars. So I feel like starving or being low energy, not having enough time to eat, having a sugar crash or something that might be very like a serious concern this month, because you're overtaxed and things are happening really fast. So make sure you have backup food, crackers, granola bars, Chex Mix, whatever you do. Okay. Whatever you have. So just make sure you pack that. Anyways, going back to this person, I feel like, somebody, okay. So I feel like somebody finally understands how much you mean to them as you're leaving. Okay. When you were around in the picture, there might have been a lot of argument, a lot of like, conflict, and a lot of just like ideological differences, but it's in a way where it's really annoying. It's like fighting over things that don't even matter. Okay, fighting over like who's right, fighting over really petty things, keeping scores, and wanting to one up the other person. And so I feel like the relationship might have been very conflict ridden. Okay. And so I feel that as much as you want to be right, Virgos, a big part of you really craves harmony. Okay. You don't want to hurt anybody. You can be very strongly opinionated, but I also feel like you're tired. tired of conflict, tired of having to prove yourself, tired of arguing, tired of it. Possibly just potentially even falling out of love with a person that is very conflict driven. It's like they have this whirlpool around, like they're like the epicenter of a whirlpool where they pull all the negative things in, and so it can feel very toxic. And so I feel like you're tired of it, and you have, made strides in your life, try to move on, getting rid of like unhealthy habits, smoking, drinking too much, getting like fit, taking care of yourself. You're moving on. Okay. And I feel like as you move on, this person is like, wait a minute, I really care about that person, that Virgo. I'm missing their presence. I'm craving their presence. I'm missing their company. I'm missing the bickering even. And so I feel like there might be somebody who's coming in, extending a cup of love, okay? Extending something to you and wanting you to stay. Wanting you, I don't feel like they're in a way where they're trying to sabotage your future or trying to get you to come back and put your life on hold. I don't feel that. I feel that they're supportive of you moving ahead. They're supportive of change. They're supportive of like they want good things for you, okay? But they also wish that they could be there alongside you. And I feel like they might fear that you're forgetting them, okay? So there's a lot here about potentially somebody who's clinging on in this last ditch attempt to get you to notice them, to get you to stay, or to get you to reconcile with them or get back together with them, or, even acknowledge the fact that, because from their end, they're like, I don't want that Virgo person to leave me. I don't want them to go. I don't want them to forget me. And so I feel like they're looking for that acknowledgement, like, don't forget me, don't leave me, make sure you call. So I do sense life is moving ahead for you, and this person is somewhat being left behind. And I feel that they want to see you. They want to make amends. They want to reconcile. They have something they want to say to you, and they have an offer of love that they want to give to you. However, what's coming through for you and what's moving forward ahead in your future here is something bigger and something greater and something new. Okay, so we have new love on the horizon for many, many of you. And I'm getting somebody who is, I'm getting somebody who might work in a newsroom, who does some type of broadcasting, who is, I'm seeing like a microphone. I'm seeing somebody with a notepad. And so it could be, someone in the law profession. I'm getting like a white collar type of a worker with like a black, like an office dress shirt and tie, and hair that is well kept, and like a notepad. So somebody who might be in the legal profession, or somebody who might be a broadcaster, a news person, someone who does interviews, someone who takes notes. So like I'm getting in that environment. So for example, if some of you are starting like, school, I feel that you're going to be meeting someone who might be studying journalism, for example, or who might be, in the legal profession. And so I feel like there's something coming in, and I feel like it's associated with those professions that I mentioned earlier. I'm also sensing as well that for many of you, there might be change, like a major change in your relationship status. You might have been single and now you're in a relationship. You might even want to reconcile with this person and then, get yourself into couple status. Although I feel that many of you are opting for something a lot more stable and something a little bit more freer, like a relationship that could be potentially a little bit more liberating, a little bit more freeing, a little bit more independent. Okay. So Virgos, lots of things to consider. Things are going to be happening at lightning speed. It's happening very fast. We have cards of acceleration here, okay? This is like huge travel, huge movement. And then the Six of Swords is traditionally about smooth sailing, and things are going to be facilitated for you in a way where you're going to be in the right place at the right time. And the course that you're taking, I feel that it's going to be really good.